Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm trying to show you how to fix starter on this Honda CRV 2009. So when you start the car, power's on, but it doesn't do anything. And you hear a click. I think the starter is broken. So to be sure that the battery is not a problem, I know it is not a problem, but just to double check, we would like to check the battery voltage. And here's it's fully charged because I charged the battery overnight as well, and it still doesn't start. And you hear the click when I turn on the key. So that is the sign of a starter motor. And to solve the problem, we bought this Denso remanufactured starter motor for this Honda CRV 2009. We're gonna walk through the steps to remove the old one and install a new one. Wow, not bad at all. Looks pretty good, I'm impressed. This is great. Unboxing another tool to fix the car. So what we have here is, one of them is, they call it a trim removal tool. So trim removal tools here. And don't remember what this one is. So this is trim removal tool. Got some of them clips, a bunch of this. So dark though. So I think this tool is what I was going after. So right here. So here I managed to remove the two bolts holding the starter motor here without removing the knock sensor, but it's a silly idea because although I removed the bolts, there's no room for the starter to come out. So I really have to remove the knock sensor there so I have enough room. Yeah, the way they installed this, there's no room to work around at all. At least if you try to replace it by going from the bottom, which that's what I'm trying to do. So I couldn't remove the starter after I tried my best to remove all the bolts. One over here, I think that is like 17 mil. And then the one on the other side, on the opposite of it, is like 14 mil. And I tried to do all of that without removing the knock sensor. So, but I couldn't remove the starter itself, there's no room. So this one coming out of, this is the wire that connected to the knock sensor there. And this one is tricky because, you know, I almost break it here. Try very hard to remove it. You have to squeeze like right here to to remove it. So now you have to remove the knock sensor itself. And I don't have an open wrench that is 27 mil. So I had to go to the big box store and bought this one here. With tax like 30 bucks. So this one gonna go in and get that guy out. So I have room to remove the starter itself. Let's see if it works. So it goes in like that, and you kind of, turn it little by little. And luckily, it's not on tight, it's not on tight at all. So you could, just break it loose and then try your best little by little to remove it. So yeah, that's how you remove the knock sensor. So once you broke it loose with the wrench, turn a few around, then I could just reach in with my hand and twist it off, and now it comes off like that. So now it should come off. We have enough room now. All the bolts come off. Just have to maneuver this. It's hard to do with one hand, but for the sake of the video, I suppose. This one here you have to, that's a sensor right there where my finger is. You have to push on the bar at the top. That's really a trigger. And you pull it off, and then that's another one, the wires from the battery on there. I need to work with both hands. So to remove the cable, the wire from the battery, there's a 12 mil nut here. So you have to remove the shroud. It's like a plastic shroud. Lift it up. Then you put in the 12 mil here. Now it's pretty loose. So remove that, and then I could turn it around and I could push and try to remove this. It's hard to remove this one. So I removed the 12 mil nut here. Then you could lift this chute cable out. This cable is big, that's why it's very hard to turn this thing around. So now I turn it around, and this is the clip here for the sensor. This is tricky, so you have to push. I think this is the bottom part right here where the flathead is. That one, that's like a hook in, so you have to push the top part there down. So this one is lift up, this one is kind of lift up, and then use the flathead to kind of pry it like that, and it's coming off. So here they are, side by side. This one is an old one I just took out. A lot of effort to take it out. That's a nut and washer there. Very new because it's under that plastic shroud. And then this one is the remanufactured Denso starter, and it came with nut and washer as well.
So this one, 31.
These are the bolts holding the starter motor. The long one is the one on top, and then the one in the bottom is the short one. I'm cleaning it up, and then I'm going to be using the anti-seize a little bit on a thread, make it easier to remove next time. Take 17 mil for the one in the bottom, 17 mil socket, and then 14 mil for the one on top. It's going to be another challenge trying to put it back in, but now that I have removed the knock sensor, there's more room. Hopefully it's easier to put back. So now I put in the new starter motor. A little trick. So the long bolt, the one on top, before you put the starter in, make sure you just put it into the hole of the body of the starter motor here. Because I tried without putting it in, and it's hard trying to put the bolt in the hole there because you couldn't see. So I try putting the bolt inside the hole of the body of the starter before I move everything in place, before I push it up. And then it's just there. Then you could reach in and use your fingers trying to feel and twist it in by hand, like down here. I twist it in by hand too, up all the way here. And then now I'm trying to twist by hand and I couldn't do it anymore, so just a wrench, kind of, twist it in, turn it in. And like I said, removing that hole there, the knock sensor out of it, make it so much easier. I should have done that when I tried to remove the old starter. I tried without, because it was hard to take out the sensor, like the wire, the clip. It took me a lot of time trying to remove that. So I thought, without trying to fight that, just try to remove the bolt without removing the knock sensor. No way. So make sure you remove the knock sensor first. Remove that first, and then make your life much easier. So now putting it back, like, took me less than a few minutes. I already got the bolt up there in. So yeah. Okay, so I put everything back now except the knock sensor. So this is what I use. The wrench handle that bent here. This is for the top, again 14 mil on top there. So it's easy to do. Again, more space, right, with the removal of the knock sensor. And then down here, it's easy. So use something like this, small, little lean, low profile, easy. Just want to show you this sensor because I had a difficult time trying to remove it. So again, just for my reference in the future too, you're gonna need something that, like a long pliant nose, something. Push here. You see when you push, this one open up like that. And then mine, when it's installed, like this one on top like this, so it's hard to figure out. But now I see. Now you know. So I put in the knock sensor, attach this one, and then have my finger crossed. Hopefully it starts. So here's the knock sensor. I just clean it up. So I'm gonna put it back. There it is. Just put it in and thread it in by hand. Use your fingers to thread it in. Do it all the way, and then use the wrench to tighten it down a little bit. Not too tight though. And then plug this back in. So it's just a little favor to my future self when you try to thread it back in. You want to make sure it ends with this tab here facing you when you look from the bottom of the car. So it's easier to push on the tab on the other side, so that it's easier to remove the sensor wire in the future. So if it's facing up like this, it's hard because you couldn't see from the bottom, right? So it could be maybe on the side like this, okay? But try to avoid having it facing top like that because you couldn't see. So I'm gonna try to orient this one. When I do the final turn, I want it to face down like this, so I could see the tab on the wire, the one on the wire. So I put everything back knock sensor put in, and the wire connected. I tried to get the clip, you know, where you push down to face me, like looking from the bottom of the car. Couldn't do it. So right now it's on top, so you have to, for the future, feel it. It's right on top. There might be hard to remove again, but I kind of know you kind of push on the tab, then it would come off easily. Then put the bracket here back, everything tightened. I will cable tie, zip tie this to the tab right there on the body of the starter motor. So we start the car, see if it works before I put everything, like, you know, the engine cover or whatnot at the bottom of the car. Okay, now everything put back. This is the moment of truth. If all the time, materials, labor, sweat worth it? Does it work? Oh, need to hook up the battery. It does work, okay? So it's all worth it. One more time. Okay, so to change the starter motor, I went from below the engine, below the car, so we have to remove the cover, and we have to remove the engine cover, you know, at the bottom of the car, and they have two metal balls like this, and they are steel. They are made out of metal and they rust away, so couldn't be removed, because up in the Midwest here we have crazy snow, and anything metals is rusted, so this one couldn't be removed easily. See, it's all rusted. So that bolt, this bolt right here that I showed earlier, attached to this metal nut here, that is that's got a clip attached to the wheel well liner here, plastic liner. So as I mentioned earlier, they're all rusted, and unbeknown to me, I tried to loosen the bolt and it ripped this piece apart right here, just like that. Broke off because it's all plastic. So I am faced with two options. One is to buy a new liner or improvised. I chose the latter. So I started with a template. It's like that. So cut out the template and go to the big box store, buy a sheet of aluminum, cut it out, and also I buy this washer, stainless steel of course, so it doesn't rust on me again, and then use the rivet. This is aluminum rivet. So you do that. So now I have this aluminum sheet metal here that I could use to attach it, and then use like stainless steel bolt and nut to attach it. The challenge I have after this is how to have the nut on the top, because when you put it all back together, there's no option or no way to hold the nut in place while you turn the bolt from the bottom. So let's see how it come up with. This is what it looks like underneath it. This one is a driver's side. Goes like that, and you put the engine cover back, then make a hole, screw it in. So remember I was saying how I'm gonna put the nut on the inside so I could turn the bolt from the bottom here, because the bolt right there. So again, it's all stainless steel. It's not gonna rust on me anymore. But there's no way I could turn the nut in there, you know, because I don't have all of them like clips and stuff that they did originally that all rusted out on me. So to attach everything back, I have to remove the wheel well liner here, so I have access to do that. So again, it's all about feeling. You gotta feel it all up in there, the nut and washers and stuff like that. So I managed to do that now. This is on the driver's side, so I'm gonna do the same on the passenger side, and then put the wheel well liner back. This is pretty simple, just some clips and screws and stuff like that. So this one is the passenger side. So this side is easier. I don't have to remove all of the wheel well liner, only remove a few clips, and then because there's so much room inside there, I just used a pair of long needle nose pliers so I could feed the washer and the nuts in there through the openings here, right there. And then for the nut to stay in place, go through here, you know, go through there, and I just tape the nut to the open end wrench. So you could see it right there, still there. And this is the bottom side there. Passenger side all put back, wheel well liner all put back. Again, I didn't take out many clips here, only a few, and I think 2 clips broke, that one and that one. So the trim removal kit that I purchased came with some clips, and get to put them to use. Driver side, wheel well liner all put back together. Bottom of the car, this is passenger side, so the covers all put back, clip all put back. Not bad. Just have to improvise. Had they put in stainless steel nut and bolts, that would have saved me hours. If they just spent a few dollars more to use stainless steel bolts and nuts, that would have saved me hours. But it works, all good.